Yo, what's up, world? What's up, good people? This your boy, Coach Bernard, Coach B from Lifestyle Motivation. Um, Happy Friday. Hey, whatever day you listening to this, every day is a good day. Remember that. Today I want to talk to y'all about being a transformational leader, right? Not a transactional leader, right? But first, I'm gonna give y'all my credentials, because a lot of times, sometimes people just don't listen to you unless you give them your credentials or who you are, right? So sometimes you gotta believe in yourself just to let people know that hey, you just not anybody. You actually somebody. So with me, I am one. I'm a man of God, right? So hey, listen to this. Hey, I'm always mention him, that man up above, because he the one that got me where I'm at today. Um, Secondly, I'm a certified life coach, right? I am the owner, the CEO, president, whatever you want to call it, of Lifestyle Motivations. Um, Thirdly, I am a leader, actually, right? Military veteran, right? So I'm gonna say thirdly, I'm a military veteran. Fourthly, I work for Centera Health Plans, right? Centera Healthcare, SHP. I am the director of education and training. Um, so at the end of the day, I do this, right? I do this. I'm a mentor, right? At the same time. So let's talk about being a transformational leader. When you are a transformational leader, you actually impact not only your team, but everybody else around you. So, what does being a transformational leader look like, right? A transformational leader is one that actually gets to know their team, right? You're not just transactional. You just don't come to your team when you want something. Um, that kills morale, that declines performance, um, that doesn't create longevity, or build relationships because you're being transactional, right? And it's almost like in your personal life. If you only call up your mom and your dad when you want something, um, or your friends when you need something, who wants to really be around you, right? Let's just be honest. Who really wants to be around you? They gonna be talking about you behind your back, saying this and that. You never gonna boost performance. When you get to those scores at the end of the year, those surveys, performance reviews, all those different things, um, you're gonna have some bad ratings. So let's be real. So how do you prevent yourself from having those bad ratings? And how do you increase the morale and the culture of your team, right? And that's one, by checking on your people, right? Check on your people to see how they actually doing, right? Sometimes you ain't even got to talk about work, right? Whether that's in a one-on-one, right? Whether that's just pinging them through whatever Teams, email system, communication, text message, whatever it is, pick up the phone and say, hey, you doing okay? I'm just checking on you. This ain't nothing about work. I'm just checking on you. Get to know they dog names, they kids names. You may not remember all these names, but get to know them as an individual to show them that you are human, right? Right? Two, take the time out to talk and discuss their goals, career and personal, right? As a transformational leader, that old way of, I really want them to stay under me, I don't want them to leave. If you become a transformational leader, most of the time that person is always going to want to stay under you, right? They're going to want to stay under you if you have a path for growth, right? But if you do not have a path for growth, or they have aspirations to become something greater, to step into either your role or to step into another managerial role, right? You need to push and elevate them to that next level, right? And that's a part of being a transformational leader, right? You do not hold back the greatness inside of a person. You push them to elevate themselves, to jump from mountaintops to mountaintops to mountaintops, right? Right? Right. Okay. So thirdly, is show them that you're human, right? As a life coach, I have to be comfortable talking about myself, right? That's one reason why I started Lifestyle Motivation, right? Because of all the things I went through in life, and I really want to get to the point to where I can tell my story. It's almost like when you go to church, right? You go to church, you testify, you tell the good things that happen or the bad things that happen in your life that seem bad, that the Lord brought you through. And then when he brought you through those things, right? Now you're telling your story so you can actually help somebody else, right? And as a leader, you have to get comfortable telling your story, right? In being human, most of the time, us as leaders, right? I'm gonna say whoever watching this, because I, you know what I'm saying, hey, I'm above that now. As a leader, you have to tell people where you come from. Tell them how you did it, right? Too many times as human beings, we don't want to tell the story of how we did what we did, because at the same time, we scared somebody gonna exceed us or go greater than what we did. That's what you want. It's almost like your kids, right? You want your kids to come up to the level. You set the bar. You want them to come up to that bar or jump over that mofo. And put it like that. You want them to jump over that mofo. So you want them to jump over and exceed the expectations. So as a leader, if you're transformational, you set expectations to where those expectations become exceeded, right? And then you take those expectations by showing them that you're human, telling them your path of how you did what you did, right? Sharing your story, showing them that you're human, right? And then with those expectations and goals that you set as a leader, you're all that, showing them that you're human, showing them your team members that, hey, you respect them, you understand them, you're listening to them, you building a relationship. Now you don't started something that's different, right? They may have had or went through something to where their previous leader was a butthole. Let's be real. They was a butthole. So now, since they're under you, they're trying to figure out, are you going to be the same way just because you have a title? A lot of times we have to get rid of just because I have a title, I can tell people what to do, and you abuse your authority, right? As a leader, going into my fourth thing, as a leader, you are only as great as your team. Always remember that. As a leader, you are only as great as your team, right? So if you don't take out the time to do 1 through 3, to get to know your team, right? To understand their goals and aspirations, right? Career and personal, right? And you're not pushing them and elevating them, and you're not showing them that you're human, right? You have failed. Just be honest. You have failed your team, and you have failed yourself. To prevent failing yourself and your team, push and elevate and motivate your team to where when the motivation is there, when they have multiple tasks that's going on that they have to accomplish, they have to pivot, right? They have to do more than the norm. It's still going to be an easy day because they mindset and the culture and the morale that you done built, they going to go to bat for you. They going to do anything and everything for you. Even when you come to them, hey, I need a favor, such and such. Can you do X for me? Sure, Bernard. Sure, whoever you are. They got you, right? Then if you need to pull somebody else in, they easily and always available and flexible to help you out. Because you don't just come to them when you need something, right? Right? So, be a transformational leader, not a transactional leader, right? Be someone that people want to follow, right? Be someone when you show up, people actually want to talk to you, right? They actually want to get to know who you are, how you did what you did. They want to ask you questions, right? They see how you maneuver in meetings and how you talk and carry yourself and the positivity that you bring to the table, right? We all have bad days, and that's what I'm going to leave y'all with. That's the last and final thing. Do not bring your problems to the table every single day, but you can use your problems as a teaching moment and a mentorship to your team to let them know when you feel like you don't want to get up and you don't want to do what you do, you don't plant seeds within your team, right? To where when you don't feel as motivated, your team is going to motivate you because you don't plant seeds of motivation. And those motivation little seeds turn into like your grass. It germinates, right? It germinates. And when it germinates, right, it's rooted. It's rooted. So even if you cut that grass super, super low, and when it seems like the grass is cut super, super low, that's them days to where you just don't feel like you got anything in your tank. But that's when you dig deep and you find that strength and energy within your team. And then your team takes that and they motivate you. So now, hey, y'all feeding off each other. That's called family. When you create a family culture amongst your team, no matter who comes in, who comes in, who goes out, you done created a standard, right, of transformation, right? And when you done created a standard of transformation and love and family amongst your team, everybody want to work there, right? Everybody want to be under you, right? Everybody want to talk to you, right? Then you start planting seeds on top of your team. Your team goes out, plant seeds in other teams in whatever department that they're involved in, right? Anybody that they talk to, they planting seeds, right? Positive seeds, right? So don't bring your negativity to the table, but be comfortable sharing maybe when you have a bad day, right? Maybe when you get in that meeting and some other leader that's not transformational, they're transactional, right? They getting on your doggone nerves, right? We know it all happens. But sometimes, I'm going to be the one to say it. We know sometimes they get on your doggone nerves, or you have to make sure your mic is on mute in certain meetings. But at the same time, you never be negative, right? You're always looking at the positive, right? You embrace the suck, as they always say. You embrace the suck, but you take those moments that seem negative. You're not a complainer, and you come to the table with trying to resolve something, right? With a resolution, right? Or a potential recommendation, as they would say, right? In the leadership word. So, share, like, whatever. If you need somebody to talk to your teams, hey, just reach out to me. But be transformational, right? Be charismatic, as they would say it. Show that you care, right? As a leader. And when you show that you care, you step out of the comfortability of a title, right? You step into the arena of being human, right? And then on top of that, when you be transformational, you actually, I'm going to say it, how should I say it? You actually open up doors for attrition rates, honestly, to decrease for your company, right? When things that you can control, right, within that arena. But you just be different, right? You got to be comfortable being yourself, but at the same time, increase and force your team to exceed past expectations. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to performance reviews, that's a sign, or should I say a documentation method to show what did you do throughout the year. You should want all your team members to get to exceed expectations. because you don't set a standard, right, for them. And you don't not only set a standard for them, you don't also created an environment to where everybody is getting along. And even if everybody doesn't like each other on your team, regardless, right? You don't set a culture to where people know what each one of your team members dislikes or doesn't or likes, right? To where you have them boundaries. So at the end of the day, be transformational, right? Don't just be transactional. Don't go to people just when you need something. Don't smile just when things go good. Praise your team members, right? For the things that they do, right? Publicly, right? Now, I'm a military veteran, so you praise in public, you discipline behind closed doors, right? But sometimes discipline involves teaching and being a mentor, right? When you teach and be a mentor and you show that it's okay to make a mistake, right? But this is how we're going to prevent it next time, right? Right? When you do those things, you create an environment and you create a morale to where everybody wants to be there. And then I keep saying that was my last thing, but at the same time, I can talk about leadership all day long because leadership is a part of motivation, right? You have to care. You have to care. What's the point of being a leader if you don't care? If you don't care. So care about what you do at the end of the day. Make a difference. Be different in a positive way. Shine a light not only on yourself, but on your company, right? To where when you go for that role that you're trying to go for, regardless of anybody else endorse you, hey, you know that you have planted seeds and did everything that you could do to show your greatness. So, as always, this your boy, Coach B from Lifestyle Motivation. Continue to stay blessed. I hope this helps somebody or anybody, right? Upcoming leaders, inspiring leaders, current leaders, no matter what your title is, president on down, supervisors, team coordinators, managers, directors, senior directors. Hey, it doesn't matter who you are. Always remember to check yourself, right? And when you check yourself and always continue to improve each and every single day, as they say, a person that continues to learn is a person that's always going to be putting themselves in the game. So continue to do what you do. I believe in you, so start believing in yourself and start making sure that you impact not only your life, but impact the lives of others. So, Coach B signing off, Lifestyle Motivation. Stay blessed.